with Coca-Cola, Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
For the Record.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees, so fair. Also, a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2024 to all of our listeners and our viewers, and to everyone in the Cayman Islands as well. Today is Monday, the 8th day of January 2024, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful holiday season as well. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, of course, the roads are now much busier than they were during the holiday season, and that depends on what portion of the holiday season we're talking about as well. We know that many people were off island during that period, which meant less traffic on the roads, but we're back to what we consider quote-unquote normal in the Cayman Islands now, where our roads are extremely busy. Those of you who are on the roads, whether you're a pedestrian or a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we continue to urge you to please be extremely cautious. Schools are open as well, so we have our youngsters on the road. They're either walking to school, maybe bicycling to school, or in a vehicle, either a bus, school bus, or with a parent or a guardian. So again, please be careful out there. Always remember, the life you save may just be your own. Hope and trust that you liked our new opening for the Record, and we have much more in store for you as well as far as that is concerned. What some may consider boring opening comments will change slightly as well, will change somewhat. We will take a different approach, and it is quite possible that on various days you will hear varying iterations of our opening remarks or opening segment of For the Record as well. So we have lots and lots of things in store for you for 2024 as well. But just to remind you that For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. I'm going to share this with you as well, because I, at home, get accused of saving papers. You save everything. Well, that's how archives are created. That is how history is preserved, by recording and by saving them as well. Unfortunately for us here in the Cayman Islands, much of our history is in repositories either in Jamaica or in the UK or in Scotland as well, simply because we either didn't retain or much of our written history. And of course, in the early 70s, we also had that fateful fire at the government administration building that also destroyed most of our records. So I found my notes for the 6th of May 2014 in the event that some of you may be interested in the history of For the Record and when it was actually conceived. And I do recall the being in South Carolina and the cabinet secretary contacting me and telling me of the idea of having a talk show to ensure that the government's plans, the government's achievements and everything could be aired, could be publicized. And I do recall in the meeting, that meeting took place on the 6th of May 2024 with the director of Radio Cayman regarding the proposed talk show. Some of the things that we noted, that it would require sufficient airtime for call-in portion of the show. And we know that now some of you complain that you don't get enough time to call in because of commercials. Of course, we have to pay the bills as well. And of course, when we do have guests in the studio with us who are seeking to convey a certain relevant information, then, we give priority over getting that information out as well. So we spoke about the fact that we would need sufficient airtime for the call-in portion of the show. We discussed the name of the show as well, and I remember the director saying after a meeting with her staff, the consensus was that it should be called For the Record. I thought maybe On the Record, but I was wrong. Director was right, because For the Record has actually stuck with us, and even when people are making statements and they're saying, just for the record, that evokes the whole idea of the show as well. So it is repeated even at times when it is not intended to talk about the show itself, but the mere fact that the phrase For the Record is used helps to promote the show as well. We also discuss substitute co-hosts as well, and I won't mention the names of those individuals whose names were mentioned as far as being substitute co-hosts. We discussed the first show, who the guests would be. Then we also looked into whether or not the first few shows should cover topical issues and cover and current events. And we scheduled the first show for May the 21st, 2014. And I think we changed that after. It was changed to the May the 26th. I see I have that in parentheses here, changed to May the 26th. So originally it was scheduled to air, the first airing on the 21st of May. It was changed to the 26th of May. Then we talk about guests as well. Mention of the premier, ministers and backbenchers, leaders of the opposition as well. At that time, I think there were 2 independent members of our parliament that was discussed. We also highlighted and looked into any topic which may have overtaken current events or any rapidly developing issues, talk about shows featuring the need for hurricane preparedness as well. At that time, we were getting near to the budget, so we wanted to discuss the 2005 2014-2015 budget, the FFR as well. Some of the questions had to do with when does the current agreement expire, what comes after, and so just sharing with you the advent of For the Record, what discussions took place, and you will have heard me say in the past, and I will continue to say so as well, because Radio Cayman and as well as For the Record seem to occupy the minds of some people these days, and it has become the topic of discussion in other forum as well. When I agreed to host the show, my insistence was that it would not just be a government talk show, but it would provide opportunities for the opposition as well as the two independent members of our parliament to be able to come on the show and to air their views as well. So, folks, that is the history of the advent of For the Record. I wrote all of those things down. I made copious notes in relation to that, and I'm sure that archives wouldn't be interested in it at this point in time, but I will save it for posterity as well. So, folks, also to remind you that this segment of For the Record, the birthday shout-outs, they're brought to you by Pizza Boat. They're now open in Queens Court on West Bay Road. We urge you to hop on board the Pizza Boat Express, because Pizza Boat, they make pizza even more fun. You can pick up your pizza or have it delivered. Simply call 949-0000 or order online via www.pizzaboat.ky. And folks, we have another sponsor on board as well. So, the For the Record birthday shout-outs are also brought to you by Coca-Cola. Same great taste, same great feeling. Coca-Cola, they're proud to support you on your birthday shout-out as well. And we also have more plans for the birthday shout-out as well, with more sponsors on board. Possibly there may be a way of offering something to those persons who are being shouted out for their birthdays, or to those persons who are celebrating their birthdays, some sort of giveaway, or to callers if we have some sort of a quiz as well. And don't forget, not only birthdays, but we have included anniversaries in it as well. And I have a jokingly said also, if divorces, if you want to. Some people, are so happy to get out of a situation that they want to publicize it as well. As far as anniversaries go, we want to wish a happy 47th wedding anniversary to Mr. Dave Smith and Miss Lynn Smith as well. 47 years of marriage. Congratulations to the both of you, and we know that you enjoy each other. I don't know if it's Miss Lynn's cakes that she makes for Mr. Dave that keeps the marriage going, but whatever it is, just keep on doing it. Folks, we're going to take our first commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
George Haig Bodden, MBE, 1930 to 1995.
George Haig Bodden, MBE. Mr. Haig served as an assistant teacher at the Georgetown School and from 1948 to 1954 was in charge of the Breakers School. Between 1959 and 1964, he worked for HM Customs. He was the first Caymanian to become a chartered life underwriter and was a lifetime member of the prestigious $1 Million Round Table. He played a leading role in the Boddentown Presbyterian Church concerts, which were very popular, especially during garden parties. Mr. Haig entered Boddentown politics in 1972 and served as an MLA until his death, except for a short break from 1988 to 1990. He served on EXCO from 1976 to 1984 and was responsible for creating the Maritime Conservation Law of 1978 and for establishing the Water Authority. The cadastral survey was also completed during his tenure. He was named Deputy Speaker of the Legislative Assembly. Most of his adult life was dedicated to the service of his country, for which he was awarded the MBE by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II in 1995. He was married to Loreline Nee Powell, and the couple had 3 children.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard the news? Digicel is back with exciting offers that are too good to resist. Activate one of our brand new prepaid or postpaid plans today and experience telecommunications like never before. With more data, dedicated entertainment options like Netflix, YouTube, Spotify, and endless social text data for all your favorite platforms. Digicel is here to make sure you stay connected and entertained. Whether you are on a prepaid or postpaid, you will also enjoy dedicated roaming data for the USA, Canada, and the Caribbean. It's all about value, and Digicel has got you covered.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Are you feeling sick, but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough and sore throat, to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
I love Pizza Boat. It's yummy. It has my two favorite things combined, cheese and boats. Pizza Boat makes pizza way more fun.
Hop on board the Pizza Boat Express. Kids, now Pizza Boat makes pizza even more fun. Lunch or dinner, let Pizza Boat bring the fun. Pizza Boat, a Cayman twist to pizza, bringing fusion ingredients from all over the globe to give you locally inspired fresh pizzas all day, every day. Pizza Boat, now open in Queens Court on West Bay Road. Pick up or delivery 949-0000 or order online www.pizzaboat.ky.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have no guests in the studio this morning. This is the first show being aired for 2024. I certainly missed being in the studio, but it was also a great opportunity to get a break as well, to take a break. And we're back on air now, so you can let your friends and family, neighbors, everyone know that For the Record is back on air. This morning, the phone lines will be open for you to call in if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions. We want to hear from you. If you have any thoughts about 2023 and what you foresee for 2024, what you would like to see take place in the Cayman Islands or in the world for 2024 as well, please share those with us as well. Meanwhile, don't forget we have the birthday shout-outs, and they're brought to you by Pizza Boat, who are now open in Queens Court on West Bay Road. We urge you to hop on board the Pizza Boat Express because they make pizza even more fun. You can pick your pizza up or have it delivered. Simply call 949-0000 or order online via www.pizzaboat.ky. And by Coca-Cola. Same great taste, same great feeling. Coca-Cola, proud to support you on your birthday shout out as well. And again, we're going to repeat this, but happy 47th wedding anniversary to Mr. Dave Smith and Miss Lynn Smith as well. Let's look at some of the birthdays, and I have a few belated ones as well. We have Miss Sarah Lee Moore, who celebrated her birthday on Friday. And Marlon, our cyclist, some know him as Marlon the cyclist, others know him as Christian. He celebrated his birthday on Saturday. He celebrated his birthday on Saturday as well. And yesterday, he put in something like between 62 and 64 miles. It is traditional. Well, they're getting away with a lot now. And when I was younger, I would double my age in miles, of course. Come next month, I will be 73, and my last double was when I was 72 years of age. I did 144 miles. I have now reverted back to just riding my age in miles. So yesterday, Marlon took the same approach, and he did over 62, 64 miles, even though he's not that old, but I won't give out his age because I don't have permission to tell his age. So we had Sarah Lee Moore on Friday, so belated happy birthday to her. Marlon on Saturday. Yesterday, on Sunday, we had Paul Aiken, who celebrated a birthday, as well as Winston Jones, Rico Vibes 2, Miss Melanie McField celebrated hers on the 6th of January. Winston Jones also was on the 6th. Yonair Palvery, also on the 6th of January. Miss Gayleen Meeson on January the 5th as well. So we want to wish all of them a belated happy birthday as well. And today, Miss Joanne Brown, who is the owner, the proprietor of Celebrations, she's celebrating her birthday today as well. So we want to wish her a happy birthday. Celebrate your birthday at Celebrations. Miss Joanne Brown at Celebrations as well. So again, we're extremely thankful to our sponsors, Pizza Boat, and we now have on board Coca-Cola with the same great taste, with the same great feeling, and they are proud to support you on your birthday shout-outs as well. So line those birthday shout-outs up. We will be back on Wednesday as well, of course, God willing, and we will have the birthday shout-outs during that period as well. And we also want to say, someone shared this as well. Known as the King of Rock and Roll, he rose to prominence in the late 1950s, becoming a legendary presence in cultural history and the best-selling solo artist in the history of pop music. He released such number one singles as Hound Dog, Jailhouse Rock, and Stuck on You. Before fame, his identical twin brother, Jesse Garon Presley, was divorced in October 9th, 1973. His daughter Lisa Marie Presley also became a singer. He once lived in a mansion in Tennessee, which is called Graceland as well. Elvis Presley from 1935 to 1977. So looks at his birthday today as well. We also want to extend our sincere condolences to all of those persons who have lost loved ones. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing to you as well. And for those of you who do make New Year's resolutions, we hope and we trust that one of your resolutions will be for you to be a more compassionate, a much kinder, a much more understanding individual as well. Despite the fact that you may disagree with others, doesn't mean that you have to be disagreeable as well. It is important that we acknowledge other person's views, that we respect them, as well. That is what we want to do here on For the Record. We have strived to do that. We will continue to do that as well, despite sometimes the time constraints that we have, simply because the show is only for 2.5 hours. With that, we have reached that time where we go to the 8 o'clock news. So, folks, don't forget, our phone numbers have not changed. We have our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255, also 949-8037, 949-6990, WhatsApp number 925-3261 as well. So all of those numbers can be reached. No guests in the studio this morning, so we will have an open line for you to call in, and you can converse with us if you so wish. Top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. Please stay tuned for For the Record will be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time by Foster's is a minute after 8.
New Year healthy options. Live at Foster's.
When you need lunch on the go, head to the Fresh Salad Bar at all Foster's locations. Or if you're looking for a vegan meal, check out our new vegan hot bar at Foster's Camana Bay.
Replace that sugary drink with a locally brewed kombucha full of vitamins B, C, and antioxidants. Or get it on tap at our Camana Bay store.
And to help you whilst you're shopping, look out for the organic and all-natural signs in store.
For more healthy tips, follow us at Foster's K-Man on Facebook and Instagram. Foster's, better because we care.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Island.
With a look at Radio Cayman's 8 o'clock morning news, I'm Dion Anglin. The trial of a man charged with assault causing bodily harm and another with a woman charged with theft are on the docks this week in summary court. Radio Cayman's Jevy Ebanks takes a look at what to expect this week from the courts.
The summary courts of the Cayman Islands are back to their usual schedule following a week of a gradual return to normal since the Christmas and New Year holiday. Today, Magistrate Vanessa Allard will oversee the daily traffic court list scheduled for 10 a.m. Magistrate Allard will also preside over the trial of Pauline Mullings, who is facing a 2020 charge of theft and a 2021 charge of failing to surrender into custody. Magistrate Hernandez is scheduled to preside over the trial of Amani Ebanks, facing a 2023 charge of assault causing actual bodily harm. In terms of Grand Court, whilst no official schedule has been released, the official opening ceremony of Grand Court is expected on Wednesday, with the first jury trial expected to start at the conclusion of the opening ceremony. Jevy Ebanks, Radio Cayman News.
Thank you, Jevy. In police news, a wanted man is in custody after a major operation in Boston Town over the weekend. Officers arrested Roland Welcome Jr. Saturday, as well as a 33-year-old Bodden Town woman for trying to conceal him from the authorities. During the arrest, police say Roland Welcome Jr. of East End was combative towards the officers, who then used, quote, reasonable and approved force in order to apprehend him. He was then arrested on suspicion of aggravated burglary pertaining to an incident that took place on November 18th in the East End district. The RCIPS would like to thank the public for their support in the apprehension of the wanted man. The National Housing Development Trust, NHDT, or the Trust, says it's introducing a series of new initiatives to support Caymanians in today's challenging housing market by increasing the supply of affordable homes, expanding the home repairs program, and reintroducing a lease-to-own program. To help address the current housing crisis, the Cayman Islands government allocated $15 million to the NHDT in the 2024-2025 budget. The NHDT has engaged the services of Deloitte, who have also been requested to look at various operations within the Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure. This is to modernize operational frameworks and put in place new procedures that will allow the organization to scale up operations while the board recruits for a new general manager. Julio Ramos resigned from NHDT last month after 14 years on the job. In other local news, as the holidays end, Owen Roberts International Airport is filled with tourists returning home, university students headed back to their studies, and rescue dogs headed to new homes in the United States.
8 crates with 13 dogs and puppies. They're going to our rescue partners in Orlando to their adopters.
Deborah Mitchell is with one dog at a time. She says without this initiative, these animals would be euthanized.
People don't spay and neuter the dogs. We have lots and lots of puppies and also older dogs. We pull them from the DOA to save them from being euthanized. So we save the dogs and they go to the rescue partners and they get great homes in the US.
Ms. Mitchell says Cayman Airways fly the crates for free, and while there is a great deal of local support with other costs, they still need to raise funds on an ongoing basis. You can find out more about One Dog at a Time by visiting them on Facebook. And the Cayman Islands Public Library Service says the Georgetown Public Library will be closed for renovations from Wednesday, January 10th through Monday, January 15th. Members of the Georgetown Public Library are encouraged to return books using the book drop located outside the library, borrow EBSCO ebooks online at cipl.gov.ky, or email libraryprograms@gov.ky for more information. The Cayman Islands Public Library apologizes for any inconvenience caused to its customers. However, regular operations will resume on Tuesday, January 16th at 10 a.m. That's it for Radio Cayman's 8 o'clock morning news. I'm Dion Anglin.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
The Ministry of Education invites all eligible Caymanians to apply for its overseas scholarship for the 2024-2025 academic year. To apply for an overseas scholarship or learn more about the various scholarship offerings, please visit the Scholarship Secretariat Unit's online scholarship application portal at www.moescholarships.gov.ky. Applications close on Wednesday, 31st of January, 2024.
Hey, good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 81 degrees. Relative humidity is 81%. The barometric pressure is 29.99 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 12 knots. Overnight low temperature was 77 degrees. Synopsis indicate fresh easterly winds and rough seas are expected across the Cayman area as a ridge of high pressure system over the eastern United States extends into the northwest Caribbean. Satellite images show a few low-level clouds across the Cayman area. Now, the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures today will be in the mid-80s. Winds will be east to northeast at 15 to 20 knots, and seas will be rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet, especially along the eastern coast. Small craft should exercise caution over open waters for today and tonight as well. Forecast for tonight calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers and temperatures falling to the mid-70s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast at 15 to 20 knots, and seas will be rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet, especially along the eastern coast. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 8:24, low tide this afternoon at 2:22, and a high tide again tonight at 6:53. The sun will set this evening at 2 minutes after 6 and will rise tomorrow morning at 2 minutes past 7. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Wednesday morning as the ridge from the high pressure system continues to extend over the northwest Caribbean as it moves over the western Atlantic Ocean. That's the very latest on your weather report.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
And by National Road Safety. Be empowered. Help make our roads safe. Take the road to zero. Say no more to road fatalities in 2024.
Top of the morning to you. Let's take a look at traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, steady but flowing traffic, and continuing on to Huldah Avenue. Coming from the east on Shamrock Road and Rex Creighton Boulevard, steady but flowing traffic. Some steady traffic on Cool Road heading to Georgetown. Eastbound traffic on Cool Road is moderate. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, of course, it's steady traffic, steady but flowing traffic, as well as off the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way, traffic is moderate. Light to moderate traffic flow on Owen Roberts Drive, and also coming from the West Bay 4-way stop. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue flowing pretty good. Light to moderate traffic flow on Edward Street. And as we turn our eyes to the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is flowing moderately in both directions. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12. We'll give you another traffic report. Remember, click it or ticket.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips for all occasions and celebrations. Let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
Speeding is the highest cause of fatalities on Cayman's roads.
Brother, watch how fast my new car goes. Got it.
But what if
he hadn't been speeding?
His friends hadn't been encouraging him?
What if we all just took the time to slow down and think? What if, as a community, we rose to the challenge of keeping our roads safe?
What if we all walked the road to zero
and decided no more in 2024?
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
And by National Road Safety. Be empowered. Help make our roads safe. Take the road to zero. Say no more to road fatalities in 2024.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
Radio K-Man's Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio. Enjoy a mix of pop, hip-hop,
dancehall, urban gospel.
The Super Jam Show is
brought to you by these kind sponsors.
The Cayman Islands Football Association, CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football.
Cayman Insurance Center.
Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call me today, Michael Webster, at 925-5433.
UWI Open Campus, on-site, online, and on demand.
Visit open.uwi.edu. Call them today at 946-8322.
Super Jam.
Also brought to you by Cayman Airways. Call them at 949-2311 to book your non-stop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Also brought to you by
Superior Auto Center. Do it right the first time with Superior Auto.
949-9570
or 525-9571.
Superior Auto. They keep your car in tune.
Super Jam.
Also brought to you by the Yum School Lunch Program. Now available at selected private and public schools across Grand Cayman.
The #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
Super Jam.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. This is our first broadcast for the year 2024. Our phone lines, the numbers remain the same. Our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. Also 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp, 925-3261. If you just want to join us, you can follow us on YouTube. You simply do that by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. Also, you can follow us on Facebook as well. Meanwhile, let's see what public service announcements that we can share with you as well. Those of you who are customers of the Water Authority, they wish to advise their customers that the customer portal and online payment platform that was down on Friday to facilitate a systems upgrade. As a result of that system upgrade, the new and improved portal and payment page will be live for customers at 9 o'clock this morning. Existing customer portal users will receive direct communication from the authority with instructions on accessing the new system. New users will be able to learn how to sign up for the new system by visiting their website, which is www.waterauthority.ky. So you can visit that website on Monday. So the new portal will be operational at 9 o'clock, new payment system as well. So if you see a notice coming in from the Water Authority, please pay attention to that to see what instructions are to be given to you for that purpose as well. Okay. We could probably use this as one of our quizzes somewhere along the line, but I wonder how many, Miss Susan, how many of our listeners know that we had the Gospel of the Kingdom publication in the Cayman Islands, but in the 1950s, 1956, 1957, we also had a newspaper called the Cayman Times that was published in Jamaica. It was published once a week, and it was then delivered by air to the Cayman Islands on the Monday, and people flocked for that. Some very, very interesting articles in that. I have been blessed with some copies provided to me by Mr. Alfonso Wright from Celebrate Cayman when they were doing a lot of research for the Cayman Islands in relation to the Federation and also to the Coat of Arms, research on the Coat of Arms as well. So I am going to share some of that with you as well. There's even one story in there about Trinidad owing us, the Cayman Islands, some £20,000, and I will share that with you as well. Meanwhile, we have a caller on hold. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Happy 2024 to you.
Happy 2024 to you, OC, and good morning to you and to your listeners.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, first of all, talking about the new year, you see, the kids always love the new year because usually they are moving up, like in terms of entitlement to a cell phone, entitlement to go out, entitlement to drive. But some of us don't celebrate New Year so much because we are much closer to the end than we are from the beginning. See? So that's the way I look at it. Anyway, look, Ossie, there's something I spoke to you about way back, which was about the Judicial Service Commission and a finding of maladministration which was made by the Ombudsman against them. But I thought I should raise it again now because it has moved a little bit further. I don't know if you had a chance, and I'm not asking you to answer it, to read an article on the Cayman News Service.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did a chance
yes.
to read that, yes. It is the second report which is made. Cayman Mauro did a short report. This one takes it a little bit further, and it is, as you would have seen, more researched. But the thing I wanted to emphasize really is more like the last paragraph of that, because the point I've been trying to make is that, one, the judiciary has to be held accountable. And there's a distinction between independence of the judiciary and interference in its work. And I think in Cayman, we're still struggling to try and find that balance. But at the end of that article, there's reference to the Parliamentary Committee of the Ombudsman. And I like that part of the article because it is emphasizing the fact that there is a need for engagement of Parliament and engagement of the politicians in that issue. And the members of that committee, like the article said, it was Bernie Bush, the Honorable Bernie Bush as the chair. The other members, which the article didn't have, but if you go to the link, you'll find the other members. The Honorable Joey Hugh, Honorable J.E. Banks, Honorable David White, and Honorable, there's one other I've forgotten. Anyway, there are five of them. Some of the things they need to look at is that, you see, in the UK, when you complain against a judge or a lawyer, that matter goes through a sifting mechanism, and if it is not resolved, it goes to a hearing, and there's a decision that is made. That decision, the essence of it, is published on the website. They will say Judge John X was found to have acted in an improper way against the council, in an improper way against a party, and so on and so forth, so that it is made public. They issue what is called a discipline statement. It's usually just about a page or a page and a half, so the public knows that something is being done. I know Cayman is a small place, But I think that there is need for that level of accountability. There are some things I can't talk about on radio, not affecting other people. But to me, there's just an important aspect that needs to be dealt with. Like, for example, I had made some time back FOI requests about discipline against judges, discipline against lawyers. I had to fight for that. Again, the ombudsman helped me by saying, look, you have to give this information. Mm-hmm. But that information must be available in a report of the judiciary, which goes to the Legislative Assembly as a matter of course, with appropriate, of course, safeguarding of certain identities where certain cases did not reach a certain point. But I just thought I should encourage your readers who haven't read that article in the Schema News Service. It came out on the 4th of January. The title is Ombudsman Fines Against Judicial Commission. I think there's a lot of public importance to that article. I just thought that I should emphasize that.
Yeah, caller, before you go, I have a question for you as well. I happened to watch Talk Today when they had Mr. Raymond Singh had as his guests several members of the media, including representative from Radio Cayman, Miss April Cummings. And one of those panelists spoke about the battle that he has been having with the judiciary in relation to the release of information about the various prosecutions during COVID and getting statistics, on that. And he indicated that he was still fighting that battle with them. How transparent do you believe that the courts should be in terms of the data that they have that isn't personal data, and what would be the underlying reason for not wanting to provide that information in relation to the prosecutions or non-prosecutions?
You know what? I watched a little bit of that show, but I think the bit that I watched was more when they were talking about the management and how they were going to improve in this year and so on. So I didn't watch all of it, and I seem to have missed that, which was, as a lawyer, maybe even more relevant to me. I'll go to that and watch it, but I can give you some kind of response now. You see, under the Constitution, there's a right to privacy. That's why they've got this thing that before you are formally charged, they don't release your name. Once you are charged, it means now they intend at least to look at the possibility of prosecuting you. You do lose then your right to privacy at that point. Why? Because now the public is entitled now to know who is being charged and who is being prosecuted. So, and then under the Constitution as well, prosecutions, criminal prosecutions, as with other trials, are generally supposed to be public. And so, in other words, the public are entitled to have certain information about things that are happening in the court. That's why, as you know, of course, if a criminal case is taking place, any member of the public, if there's a space in court, you can walk in and listen. Mm-hmm. And I believe personally that our judiciary has still got to get that balance right. You recall some time back in the case which was brought by Katrina Anglin, the one about the judicial review, the one which went to the Court of Appeal. Mm-hmm. When it was initially filed before a judge, the members of the press complained to say, well, but why can't you make this information available to, these documents available to us? Then it all wound up being a bit of a mishmash with respect, if I might say so. The Attorney General said, oh, no, but see, the judge is not involved in releasing the information. The judge said, oh, he didn't give the order. And then the personal assistant said that they had given the order and so forth. No. There is need for a better balance in the judiciary about release of information. And to answer the specific question that the journalist, I think it was the gentleman from Cayman Times, there is need for the judiciary to respect the right of the public to be able to get information from the judiciary. I have gotten good help from the ombudsman when, I'll give you an example. It is right in line with what we're discussing. One time I tried to file a document and they refused to file it, and they didn't give me a good reason. And I went to the ombudsman. I said, well, they refused to file my document. They haven't given me a reason. And the judiciary said, no, this is a judicial function. We can't tell you why, and so on. And the judiciary said no, or the ombudsman said no. You have to give the person a reason. Giving the person a reason is administrative. They are entitled to it. Mm-hmm. And as a result, they give me a reason.
So the laws of natural justice does not exempt the judiciary, from applying those rules of natural justice.
Exactly, because some of the rules of natural justice, when you conceive of them broadly, they include the right to have certain information. Mm-hmm. That is why, by the way, whenever somebody sues, like the first document that you file in court, in law it is called the originating process. It might be a writ or a notice of originating motion. The first document that you file is automatically public. Anybody should be able to go there and have a look at it. It's only what follows after that, which is only to parties. So I think, yes, I'll look at that again, and if I have some more information, I'll call you back at some time in the course of the show and let you know.
Okay, and again, just before you go, because you mentioned something, and that was going to be my other line of question, where in other jurisdictions you're able to see documentation that has been submitted, filed with the courts and stuff like that. So that those originating documents is basically what we see, like in some of the federal cases that are taking place now. We know what the prosecution has submitted. We know what the plans are as far as the defendants are concerned, the arguments that they are likely to put forward. We have something similar to that in our judicial system here, you're saying?
Yes, we have something similar. It might not be as liberal as the one in the in the United States, mm-hmm. but what we do have is at least the first document that you file. Okay. That one is public, but you are free then thereafter to get other documents if you are like a party and so on. But yes, the original document, everybody is entitled to that because there is a public interest aspect of it as well.
Okay, Billy, thanks very much. Good conversing with you, and look forward to more conversations during the course of this year as well. It should be an exciting year before our general elections take place as well. And of course, we want to see the Cayman Islands progress. We want to see the Cayman Islands do well. We want to see the government do well, because when they do well, we the people, when they're successful, in terms of what they are intending to provide for the general public, then we are successful as well. So again,
yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I agree.
Ms. Susan, can I come to you now? Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have our very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget, our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so our phone lines are open to allow you to discuss anything that you may wish to discuss with us. One of our listeners has written and said, wouldn't it be great that a similar initiative is done, as it is done in Barbados, is implemented in the Cayman Islands. And I'm going to share this with you if I can get it to the point where I can make the screen much larger. And it has to do that fees for electronic transactions on the ACH, inclusive of RTP transactions. I'm not sure what those acronyms mean, but this was issued by the governor of the Central Bank of Barbados, and it reads that under the National Payment System Act, NPSA 2021, the Central Bank of Barbados, which is known as the bank, has responsibility for the oversight of the national payment system in accordance with Section 4, subsection 1B of the NPSA, and the execution of its duties of oversight and administration of the national payment system. The bank shall consider the interest of consumers. Further, please be advised that Section 32 of the NPSA provides that the bank is empowered to establish rules to ensure transparency of conditions, including fees and information requirements for payment services. Goes on to say that in light of the above and the bank's focus on fostering the development of electronic payments, commercial banks are hereby directed that effective January 2nd, 2024, 1. No fees are to be imposed for electronic transactions through the ACH inclusive of the RTP transactions, and 2. Any fees which are presented or presently charged for electronic transactions through the ACH shall be immediately discontinued. And that is signed by Dr. Kevin Greenidge, who I would imagine is the governor of the Central Bank of Barbados. So what this is basically saying, and I welcome the sender of this information if they are more familiar with the electronic banking system in Barbados, please call us. Our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255, or you can call us on 949-8037, 949-6990, or email us. Don't worry with the email for now. We need to have that established again as well. Or just send us some additional information in your own words if you wish, about the system. But what the sender is demonstrating is that there is central control over certain aspects of banking in Barbados, and what they are insinuating here is that we don't have similar measures here in the Cayman Islands, which would, I guess, normally be administered or fall within the purview of the monetary authority here in the Cayman Islands. Those of you who have been watching international news as well, we have seen that as a result of some control over inflation, that the U.S. Federal Reserve, which many jurisdictions follow their lead, but we also see in the UK where certain measures have been taken as well. As far as interest rates are concerned, some have frozen interest rates, and it is also anticipated that there will be at least 3 reductions in interest rates for the year 2024. Now, let's ask the rhetorical question. Will we see a swift implementation of these reductions in interest rate as we saw when the rates increased by our local financial institutions? We must give them a little bly and say that after some prodding, they may have delayed for, I would imagine, a maximum of 30 days, any increases after a few of the increases simply because of complaints and also negotiations with the government to give their customers sufficient time to make plans and to absorb the additional increases. So they did allow for that. Now let's see when those decreases in interest rates start. And there are many people who are hoping that it starts fairly quickly because, people have been stretched to their limits, sometimes beyond their limits, and have had to find creative ways of addressing the rate increases, especially when it comes to either loans or mortgages as well. And of course, the advice that we have heard, or politicians, the government side as well as the opposition, pointing out to people, if you are having difficulties with your payments, with your financial institutions, your banking institution, don't wait until you get into trouble, or don't wait until they have notified you. Go to them, talk to them. Hopefully they will listen and they will be able to work a plan out for you. If you wait until the 13th hour, then that is when problems will increase. But my main point here is that when we start to see those decreases in interest rates, will we see them being implemented as quickly as the increases were implemented in the past few years as well? With that rhetorical question, folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard the news? Digicel is back with exciting offers that are too good to resist. Activate one of our brand new prepaid or postpaid plans today and experience telecommunications like never before. With more data, dedicated entertainment options like Netflix, YouTube, Spotify, and endless social text data for all your favorite platforms. Digicel is here to make sure you stay connected and entertained. Whether you are on a prepaid or postpaid, you will also enjoy dedicated roaming data for the USA, Canada, and the Caribbean. It's all about value, and Digicel has got you covered.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Can you tell me what does a turtle do on his birthday? He celebrates.
Celebrate your loved one's special birthday with a birthday shout-out live on For the Record with Mr. Orrett Connor, only on Radio Cayman. WhatsApp your loved one's name to 925-3261. That's 925-3261. Radio Cayman's birthday shout-outs live on For the Record with Mr. Orrett Connor every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Sponsored by Pizza Boat. Now open in Queens Court on West Bay Road. Pick up or delivery. Call 949,000 or order online at www.pizzaboat.ky.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so the phone lines are open. I did throw out to you earlier that in addition to the Gospel of the Kingdom publication that was printed by and I stand to be corrected on this, and maybe if Mr. Tommy or any other family member is listening, they may want to share with us whether or not it was Mr. Fossey or in Mr. Will Borden who produced the Gospel of the Kingdom publication. But in addition to that, we also had the Cayman Times newspaper. It cost 3 pennies, 3 pence, threepence. You want to say that? Threepence. It was published or distributed every Monday. It was actually printed in Jamaica and brought by airline to the Cayman Islands. There was a lot of focus in those days on the Federation, West Indies Federation, and Cayman's involvement and participation in that. Lots of there were some adverts, and the publisher of the newspaper at that point in time went to pains to try to convince merchants that it was indeed profitable and could enhance their business by advertising in the newspapers. So we saw adverts like this one. Those of you who are in that age range, do you know that there was a rum called Kelly's Jamaica Rum? There's an advert for that. How many of you knew that Wholesome Bakery, the home of the finest bread in Georgetown, that they made a bread called the Golden Crust Bread, made under the most ideal sanitary conditions comparable to anywhere else in the world. Also, Mr. Norberg, the Wholesome Bakery, they made cinnamon buns, molasses cookies, patties, and cakes as well. And Comart, they advertised to Mrs. Housewife, get your meats, fruits, and vegetables at Comart, first frozen food counter in the island. That's a historical tidbit for you if you're interested in that. So Comart claimed to be have the first frozen food counter in the Cayman Islands. Note that's the counter, not necessarily the first ones to have brought them in. Best quality, lowest prices, first class service. Proprietor W.S. Co. And then, of course, we have Be the First to Own, a Lifetime, Eden, Bake, Enameled Metal Bed. Those are the days when we had metal bed. Metal chairs also available, and that was a company called Caribbean Metal Products in Jamaica as well. So a lot of the advert were placed by the merchants, R.E. McTaggart and Brothers, established in 1917. Again, you historical buffs, R.E. McTaggart and Brothers, was established in 1917. They were ship owners and merchants. They were dealers in general merchandise, dry goods, ship, chandlery, etc. They distributed Carib Cement and Mary Carter paints. They were also the agents for Campbell Cigarettes, Three Bays, and Stella Polaris as well. And what else do we have here? They also published a section for Girl of the Week as well. And I shared this one with some family members of Miss Trella Miles. So in the publication of let me find a date for this to make sure I get it right. The publication for January the 21st, 1957, spoke about Girl of the Week. This week, I've selected, and folks, I'm reading it the way that it has been presented, and I will comment on this afterwards, and you may if you wish, because while I'm not going to place a whole lot of emphasis on this in this particular show, we constantly hear people talk about that the Cayman Islands were not basically separated along racial lines, that we didn't have color discrimination in the Cayman Islands. So here is how this story, the Girl of the Week, was presented by a Caymanian or Cayman Times reporter. This week, I've selected a dark-skinned Caymanian beauty for my Girl of the Week series, vibrant Trella Miles, who has just turned 21. So, not to take anything away from Miss Trella in this regard, but I have shared with you the way that they wrote it here, because to me, it would be dishonest of me if I were to put it any other way. And it goes on to say, and when you've taken just one look at her, you won't find it difficult to understand why Trella is rated one of Georgetown's most popular girls. Trella is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Urban Miles of this city, and she was born right here too. She got her basic education at Cayman High School, went over to Jamaica for her commercial training, and it must have been jolly good training, for she now holds down the job of assistant manager of the Newfound restaurant in Georgetown. That would be another quiz question, Miss Susan, that we could use as well. Do you know where the Newfound restaurant was located in Georgetown? I do. I wonder how many of you do. If you do know where the Newfound restaurant was located in Georgetown, give us a call and let us know. And it goes on, and included in her many duties is looking after the books. Trella is 5 inches taller than 5 feet, loves dancing, and is an ardent movie fan. But she has no film favorites, takes them all as she goes along. But Trella can be serious too. Loves her city of Georgetown so much that she wants to see it get ahead, but fast. So she's just waiting for some enterprising soul to take the lead with the organization of some social club, and there you'll find the handsome Trella right there in the midst of it all, pulling her full weight. So that was Girl of the Week, beauty, full, dark-skinned Caymanian, a dark-skinned Caymanian beauty. Now, the publisher of this newspaper was a Jamaican, and was published in Jamaica, while the writing and everything was done here in the Cayman Islands. My suspicion, and these are only my suspicion based on looking at the adverts that were placed, whether or not this was a publication that was controlled by the merchant class in the Cayman Islands and was promoted by them, because we see a lot of politics in it, especially articles about the Federation and joining the Federation, and I will share some of those with you as well. But the mere fact that the phrase that has been used, a dark-skinned Caymanian beauty, those words speak for itself. I don't have to say any more as far as color stratification in the Cayman Islands is concerned. Otherwise, folks, the article would have just simply said a young Caymanian girl. The mere phrase, dark-skinned Caymanian beauty, tells us that there was racial stratification here in the Cayman Islands. Now, I know some of you don't like to hear that, because some of you will say, why are we regurgitating all of this? Folks, if we are to know where we are today and where we want to be in the future, we have to know where we came from as well. So that is why I'm sharing that with you, not to take anything away from Miss Trella, but the way that this article was written. When I saw it, I was aghast at the phrase that was used. But at the same time, I understood, because I know that there was racial stratification here in the Cayman Islands as well. And I will share with you other articles. Here's another article in terms of Girl of the Week. I choose 17. Okay, I'm not going to call the name of this person, but it shows another person as the Girl of the Week. Person was born in Jamaica, but came here as a small child with her mother, attended the Cayman High School, where she graduated just recently and now works at in Barclays Bank as a clerk. No mention whatsoever is made of her skin color. Why choose the black girl to refer to her as a dark-skinned Caymanian? If you have any views on that, folks, I welcome you. Like I said, don't necessarily want to be divisive in 2024, but we also have to wake up to reality. We have to face reality as well. With that, we're going to go to our headline news. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the headline news.
Information to the people. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
Brought to you by Health Services Authority.
The Cayman Islands Public Library Services says the Georgetown Public Library will be closed for renovations from Wednesday, January 10th through Monday, January 15th. Regular operations will resume on Tuesday, January 16th at 10 a.m. Good morning, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines in news elsewhere. Evidence of widespread abuse and torture by the founder of one of the world's biggest Christian evangelical churches has been uncovered by the BBC. Dozens of ex-synagogue Church of All Nations members, 5 British, allege atrocities, including rape and forced abortions by Nigeria's late T.B. Joshua. The allegations of abuse in a secretive Lagos compound span almost 20 years. The Synagogue Church of All Nations did not respond to the allegations, but said previous claims have been unfounded. T.B. Joshua died in 2021. And the 2024 awards season kicked off in style at the Golden Globes, the first major red carpet event of the year. A 4-month strike kept actors away from the red carpet for much of the second half of 2023, but Hollywood stars made up for lost time and dressed to impress. Compared to the Oscars, the Golden Globes are usually a more relaxed affair, often resulting in a more playful mood on the red carpet. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Brought to you by Health Services Authority.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so our phone lines are open. Toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. Other numbers 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp 925-3261 as well. One of the person who shared the article with me about the Central Bank of Barbados and the memo that was sent out by the governor of the Central Bank said that he has shared this otherwise as well, and he understood that the issue would be discussed in caucus as well. So I want to thank that person for providing that additional information to me as well. I want to go back and find some of the articles in the Cayman Times. And this is the Cayman Times of the mid and late 1950s. I believe the first publication was in 1956. And this one I can Whoops, sorry for making all that noise there, Miss Susan. We know that page noise. So, it was alleged that the Trinidad government owed Cayman close to £20,000 for services rendered that the island during the war. This information was disclosed by the commissioner in answer to questions put to him by Mr. Malcolm Coe at the last meeting of the Legislative Assembly. Now, let me tell you what I know about Mr. Malcolm Coe. We knew him as Mr. Malley Coe. He was a radio operator. I believe he also repaired electronics as well. He was a member of the vestry, and he wrote proficiently and also wrote quite often to the editor of the Cayman Times as well. And he had, Mr. Malako had a way with words that some people didn't, have as well. So he posed the question to the administrator in the Legislative Assembly. He says, but said Major Donald, the government hopes to be in a position to collect the bill soon. I wonder if Trinidad's paid it or if they still owe us that £20,000 with interest. That could be a lot of money for Cayman today. So these were questions asked by Mr. Coe and the commissioner's answer. Question 1. It is common rumor that the company formerly known as Rima Construction Limited has paid no duty on their station wagon, motor car, and gasoline used during operations here. If this is correct, does the administration intend to collect it? The answer, under the Hotels and under the Hotels Aid Law, Rima Construction were permitted to bring in their equipment and materials as required for the building of the Galleon Beach Hotel duty-free. When they left the island, they left a subsidiary company, Cayman Construction, with the intention that it would do pioneer construction and civil engineering work. As such, it was permitted to retain licensed equipment duty free. Since that time, Cayman Construction have done nothing to justify pioneer industry status, and Rima were called on by my predecessor to pay duty on all equipment and material left on Grand Cayman, or alternatively to remove it from the island. At this moment, a representative of the company on the island is on island to make the final arrangements about this duty. About this. So it goes on to say duty will not be collected on any equipment removed from the island or disposed of to the government, but it will be collected on items otherwise disposed of unless on a bona fide pioneer industry basis. So the pioneer industry, and I think something similar still exists today where things are allowed to be duty-free. I'm not sure if it still exists, but we know, and we have many of our callers talk about the concessions that have been given to developers here in the Cayman Islands. And of course, the jury is out on that as to whether or not we need to provide concessions when the Cayman Islands remain such an attractive jurisdiction for people wanting to invest. I believe we do have a caller, so let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Happy 2024.
Hopper 2024, Mr. OC.
Thank you.
So, see, I got a problem with how money is running on this island, I mean, it's too much beggars and all that and all this kind of stuff. People getting too poor and all that kind of thing, man. It really looking bad. And they Caymanians, man. I mean, the way that money is flowing, it looked to me, Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening. Go right ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, so when I was a little boy, I was a boss. I didn't say what kind of boss, but I was a boss, a big boss too. And I don't go for how money is flowing in Cayman today, especially. No, I don't go for that.
When you say how money is flowing, are you talking about what government what government is doing, or are you talking about in general in terms of the private sector as well? And while there are some people who are doing quite well and things are quite profitable for them, there are others who are basically just struggling to keep their head above water, or a portion of their head above water.
So, see, I know a lot about business, but I just don't talk, And we need to get this thing in the proper order, sir, when the money is not flowing the right kind of way, that's when you see all these little beggars and people begging and they're going to affect more people too. People are going to lose their homes because it's less money flowing throughout this island. People are going to lose their homes, and then what going to happen to them? Then they start to beg too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been doing my little thing, making my couple little dollars my own way. But I got how to cut a deal with some foreigners because I don't go for what I see going on at all.
So you're other than suggesting that individuals cut deals with foreigners, are there any other suggestions that you may have in terms of how do we address this issue?
Sir, Mr. O.C., sir,
mm-hmm.
We need to bring in the big business people in this country, sir. We need to bring in the big dogs and make the big dogs get the money flow and get some dollars flow in this country. We need different businesses. We need new type businesses, not necessarily to compete with the other one, but to complement the other businesses.
Mm-hmm. Like?
And that they can hire, because some of these people that is begging, they can do other things and they can be hired in other places.
Mm-hmm.
But some just can't make it. And then no, we can't expect no to say, well, we're gonna get other people out of their jobs. We need to create wealth. We need to have more businesses, because apparently we got to grow the population. It have to. I mean, and things need. I know that the money is not right. I mean, if government have to help businesses after COVID and all that, things is rough. Things is rough, sir.
So you mentioned growing the population. There are many people who are complaining now that the population growth is too rapid. It is basically unplanned, that we are increasing the population of the Cayman Islands rather than doing it through natural increases. We're doing it through legislation, or the lack of legislation as well. That magical 100,000 that people have talked about, it looks as if we're going to reach that fairly soon. You believe that we need to reach 100,000 or more in the Cayman Islands, all in the interest of making more money?
I wouldn't say. Well, it have a lot to do with it, in my opinion, because I mean, if you look at the stores, certain stores, they need customers. You know, we got tourists coming in every day. It's like a temporary population, the tourists, the visitors, and we need to have some money people with dollars. You know, I don't mind. I would tell them if I was a politician, I would give the money man, give the man with dollars, give him a status, give him permanent residency, make him relax himself in the Cayman Islands and put his foot up and.
Haven't we done that with several already?
Well, we need to do some more, sir.
Really? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And
Yeah.
tell me then, when we do that, what kind of legislation should we have in place to ensure that those investors who come here, who we attract to come to the Cayman Islands, how are they, what sort of legislation we're going to have in place to ensure that they spread the money around to those people who really need it? Because, you know, they always say money follows money.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, the thing is, no. Any way you take it, you know, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I say that the money man is right. He's right, you see. No, any way you take it, any way that he spends his money, it's still trickling down to the small man. So just let him get into the country. Allow a lot more of these people. You got singers. You got artists. You got that. They're not competing with Caymanians. You know, they got their own big businesses. You know, a lot of, you know, certain companies, even chip makers, certain companies, certain people that make design technology and stuff. I would say bring these businesses, allow them, invite them, entice them to the Cayman Islands, and let the money flow. I know some different ways that money used to flow. With me and them other Caymanian boys, we used to make money like crazy. You know, but no, I see it something is definitely wrong, man. I mean, you can't just keep stopping this and stopping that and got people talking about we don't want no development. I mean, what kind of foolishness that is? We need development in this country. We need to develop. And the man want to put up 20 stories, let him put it up.
So, but you would you acknowledge the fact that while you would want that the government has to have control over it, you can't just let people come in and do whatever they want. You just said, you know, if the man wants to put up a 20-store building, let him put it up. Don't we have to consider the consequences of doing that as well, caller?
Because, sir, Mr. O.C., sir.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm a Caymanian. No, if I got the money now, and I want to put up my 20 stores, if you got 20 Caymanians want to put up some tall building, Caymanians. I mean, come on now.
Okay, now that you have just qualified the fact that Caymanian. I thought you were referring to anyone wanting to come to the Cayman Islands to do that.
Well, we got to bring the other gentlemen into it, and some kind of deals got to be cut in this year, you know, because, I mean, all this kind of low poverty stuff, and we don't believe in poverty. Cayman does not believe in poverty, sir.
Okay. Caller, I've gone past my commercial break, but this is a conversation that we need to continue to have at some point in time. You have a very interesting take on that, a take that some people would agree with, while others may either disagree or may have some caveat to go with what you're saying as well. I want to thank you. Thank you very much for that. Folks, we have another caller on hold. Quick commercial break. When we return, we will take that caller, so please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard the news? Digicel is back with exciting offers that are too good to resist. Activate one of our brand new prepaid or postpaid plans today and experience telecommunications like never before. With more data, dedicated entertainment options like Netflix, YouTube, Spotify, and endless social text data for all your favorite platforms. Digicel is here to make sure you stay connected and entertained. Whether you are on a prepaid or postpaid, you will also enjoy dedicated roaming data for the USA, Canada, and the Caribbean. It's all about value, and Digicel has got you covered.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
Start your day in the know. Don't miss a beat. Radio Cayman's 7 a.m. news keeps you informed every Monday through Saturday at 7 a.m. Brought to you by Cayman National, proudly serving the Cayman Islands since 1974.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have a caller on hold. If you're experiencing some difficulty getting your calls through, we have a new system coming online, working on that, and as a result, we're experiencing some teething problems with it. So we're asking you to please bear with us. We're going to get it right in 2024, early in 2024 as well. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Happy 2024 to you.
Well, good morning, Mr. Connor. And good morning to Miss Susan there, and happy New Year to you both.
Good morning. Thank you.
Okay. I'm kind of past what you were discussing, but I'm going to go back to something that you brought up. And it was about the article with the, what was it, dark-skinned?
Caymanian girl. Yes.
Okay. May I ask you what year that was published?
That was 1950... let me make sure I have it right. Either 1956 or 1957, but I'll get it for you if you bear with me. I'll tell you when. Go right ahead. Go right ahead, caller.
I just wanted to know, like in what, but that's fine. You've hit it close enough. What I want to say to that, Mr. Connor. As you know, we can all watch a movie and walk away with a different take on it. Just like perhaps hearing something and the same thing happens. And when I heard you read that out, I'll tell you what hit me immediately. That's why I asked how long ago it was. Based on that, not much has changed, except it has, in my opinion, gotten a little bit more pronounced, because that's exactly the problem we're facing today, is that Cayman and Caymanians want to sell Cayman as a white island. If you look at all of our commercials, there are no Caymanians in them, All of the jingles you see advertising the Cayman Islands or Cayman Airways or whatever, there are no Caymanians, no Caymanian voices. So, in other words, when they stated a dark-skinned Caymanian beauty, that was to sell to the reader that this is a unique situation, okay? That's how it came through to me. And I can just chalk it up to one word, denial, which is what is happening today, and that is what's manifesting. There's just too much denial of the heritage and the ancestry of where the Caymanians, and I might say most Caribbean people came from. I'll share something with you that I read and saw online. And this is a Caymanian person. It was said that maybe everybody should do this, what's it called, this 23andMe, 23 plus 1. It's this DNA thing. And this person responded and said, and I know what the person looks like. I know the parents and the family of this person on both sides. And this person responded and said, oh, well, I know that I have English and Scottish and Irish and I forgot what the other one was. So maybe I should do it and see what else I have. And I responded and said, African. And they wrote and said, African? Huh? You know? Yeah. So, and I said, yes. Everybody in the Caribbean has African in them. And I know a lot of people that are doing these ancestral DNA tests or whatever. You never hear them speak about the African. They're claiming every other nationality, but not the African. So I'm going to put the question out there this morning. Please tell me, where did the dark skin come from? Where did that come from?
The pigmentation, yes.
Where did the crinkly hair come from? What Caribbean people would say, good hair, bad hair, half good hair, so and so. Well, I'm going to call it crinkly hair because it may not necessarily be, Negro hair versus straight hair, but some people have that in-between hair. So do your homework, and then you'll know where it came from, and then you'll know what you'll find when you do that DNA test. And I can certainly tell you another lesson I can give them. Their names, yes, may lead back to Ireland, especially because the English used the Irish as slaves. And they put them out here in the Caribbean as well. And therefore, the African slaves and the South American slaves had to take the master's last name. So naturally, your name is going to lead back there, but not your bloodline. And another history lesson I will leave those who are very confused and prefer to live in denial with. Maybe read about Malcolm X and why he refused to carry the last name Little, and he changed it since he didn't know what his last name was at birthright. That's why he called himself X. On that note, Mr. Connor, it's too early in the year for me to get riled up, so I will leave it there.
Before you go, caller, just that article was in the Cayman Times for January the 21st of January 1957. That was
okay. So that's coming up on 67 years this year.
Yes.
Okay. And if I may, I guess I should have asked you this sooner. If I may, I'd like to wish my little nephew a happy birthday.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
today's his birthday. And so, Jared, I don't know if anyone is listening or if you may hear it. Happy birthday, honey, and he loves you.
And just bear in mind that you can send those to us in advance or early in the morning to ensure that those persons who are in their vehicles and, the child may be on their way to school or something and listening to Radio Cayman, that they can hear it as well.
Okay. And by the way, just a little warning to you. Please do not be going off for so long. It's too long away, waiting from the middle of December till the middle of January. So please rearrange your Christmas holiday, New Year's break. You can't have them both.
Certainly. Thank you for that. I think what happened was that there was the expectation that I would be off island. And this time I wasn't off island, but it was, I welcome the break.
You think digging your hole.
I know, yep. But I'm being truthful. Being truthful.
Yeah, you need to stop digging now. The quicksand is there. Anyway, welcome back.
Thank you very much, and thanks for calling as well. Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Healthcare Pharmacy, caring about your health for the past 25 years. Radio Cayman's premier health show.
Alzheimer's and dementia, are they the same disorder?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Is heard on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor, where they care about your health. Transfer and refill your prescription online. Visit healthcarepharmacy.ky or call 947-8900. Healthcare Pharmacy, now with a second location in Governor's Square. Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so the phone lines are open. Time goes really quickly on here, and we don't have as many commercials as we usually have because this is the first part of the year. But as you know, on For the Record, we have an additional sponsor as well, Coca-Cola, for the birthday shout-outs. We want to thank Coca-Cola for coming on board as well during that period, during this period of time. We do have Coca-Cola coming online. This quarter for the government will, of course, be a very busy quarter as well. Many of the government fees, those that are paid on an annual basis. And remember now, way back in time in the Cayman Islands, your trade and business license expired in December, irrespective of when you applied for it. And then it was changed to the anniversary of the approval so that those dates and those payments were spread over a period of time rather than all of the funds going into government, at one period of one point in time. But there are certain fees, certain licenses that are paid in the first part of the year. So government revenues will start to come in fairly soon as well. Until we get another caller, I'm going to continue to share with you the questions that Mr. Malcolm Coe raised in relation to the £20,000 allegedly owed by the government of Trinidad to the Cayman Islands after the war. We do have a caller, and very quickly I'm going to read this so I can accommodate. The caller says, question number 2, is it correct that the government of Trinidad owes the Cayman Islands government approximately £20,000? Is any effort being made to collect it? And the answer then given by the administrator was, it is correct that the government of Trinidad owes the Cayman Islands a large sum of money, which is in the region of £20,000, on advances which were made during the war. For some while now, and with the assistance of Mr. Phillips of the Jamaica Treasury, the process of sorting out the tangle has been going on, and it is hoped that it will not be long now before we know exactly how much money Trinidad owes the Cayman Islands and can claim it back. So there was the acknowledgement that that money was owed. I will have to do some research to find out whether or not any of this came to fruition as well. Meanwhile, let's go to our phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Orrett Connor.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Okay, Happy New Year too, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And the same to you. And maybe have a healthy, prosperous one as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Orrett Connor. I hope the same for you also, sir.
Thank you.
Well, concerning concessions, Mr. Orrett Connor, what exactly are the reasons for collecting concessions?
Well, the argument that is made is that in order, or the original argument that used to be made was that in order for us to get investments or investors to come to the Cayman Islands, we needed to have some incentive for them to do so. My viewpoint on that is that when you need investors to come in, then that may be appropriate. But when you consider yourself to be a thriving, prosperous, and a good place to invest in, I don't believe that you need to present any incentives to anyone to invest in the Cayman Islands. We know, for instance, that in other larger jurisdictions, for instance, if a stadium is being put down, then they may give tax concessions or whatever to the developers of those stadiums. But here in the Cayman Islands, the argument could have been made in our early days that, yes, we needed that. I don't believe that there's a strong argument today to say that we need to incentivize investors as far as concessions are concerned.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But for quite a while now, Mr. Orrett Connor, a lot of concessions have been given away. I know it has to be at least $2 billion by now.
Mm-hmm.
Or more. And I remember when I was working watercolors condominiums in 2011, a foreign national came to me and said, boy, it's a shame what the Cayman Islands government is doing to youths in this island. They don't even have one professional trade school. And he said to me, he said, in Jamaica, we have trade schools.
Mm-hmm.
And he said to me, he said 75% of the workers here on this compound went to trade schools in Jamaica. I'll leave it at that. But why is it all these billions of dollars that have been given away, why is it that we don't have one professional trade school? Why is it that we don't have one, what you could call a real hurricane shelter? Right? I mean, we've had leaders such as Kirk Tibbetts, McKeever Bush, Green Ponton,
mm-hmm.
Alden McLaughlin, Juliano O'Connor Connolly. We've had all these leaders, and we don't even have one professional trade school. We don't even have one hurricane shelter. And it's a shame, you know, Mr. Orrett Connor. It's a shame, and it's a pile of worthlessness.
Mm-hmm.
Because the worst thing you can do as a country is to take money that belongs to your people, especially your poor people, and give it to rich people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is the worst thing you could ever do.
Mm-hmm.
as a leader in your country. And I mean, these people seem as though they don't realize that you're only given a certain amount of time of being a member of the Legislative Assembly, and you're only given a certain amount of time to do what you need to do for your country before something happens that you don't have the power anymore to do so. And we've seen that from leaders in the past. Leaders in the past, they could mention certain things and people would just practically ignore them because they don't have the power anymore. So what I would like the government to do, or for you to do, Mr. Orrett Connor,
okay,
because I really need to find out as a citizen of this country, and I know a lot of other people would like to find out too, for the last 25 years, how much amount of money worth of concessions has been given away? Do you think you're able to find that for us, Mr. Orrett Connor?
We can certainly push the government of the day to see whether or not that information can be provided. We have seen a reluctance in the past. Some governments have said, well, this is what we have done, or we haven't done any, but we have not been able to get a comprehensive view. Now, you always hear Dr. Steve McField say, what is government? And he said, government is a system of records. So you would expect that when it comes to concessions, that there would be a separate venue where that information is recorded. It's not something that you do willy-nilly. So there is no reason, I see no reason why we shouldn't be able to get the true figures if we were to provide certain parameters. And let's say if we were looking at concessions given between 1980 and 2023 or 2024, that should not be available. If governments want to be transparent, if they want to address the concerns, and I must congratulate you and say kudos to you, because it is a topic, it is a subject that you keep pushing the button on, and I encourage you to continue, and I will do that with you until the appropriate answers are received.
Thank you very much, Mr. Orrett Connor.
Thank you very, very much, caller, as well. I just want to say one thing that the caller talked about with the trade schools, and maybe some people at the University College of the Cayman Islands may take issue with that, because we have heard in the past that there are certain trades that are being taught at the UCCI, and also don't forget that we have programs similar to the HEART program in the Cayman Islands that are being run here in here as well. And there is one such company that is involved in vehicle servicing, repairs, diagnostics, and everything that is involved in that as well. So there are some programs. Maybe there is not a centralized place for everything, but there are. As far as the hurricane shelter is concerned, we wait and see what is delivered to us as far as the structure, the church structure in Bordentown, and the dual use of that as a church and also as a hurricane shelter. We see work continuing in that, in the parking area as well. And hopefully, before hurricane season comes around in June, that that project will be completed and we can see what exactly we do have as far as a hurricane shelter is concerned. We do know also that the previous caller advocating more for as far as the District of West Bay is concerned. But he continues, and I must say that he continues to beat the drum in relation to that, and we will not in any way try to discourage him from continue to push his agenda to seek answers, because it is a legitimate question in terms of, the amount of concessions that have been handed out by various governments in the Cayman Islands, and which are still outstanding as well. We bear in mind that sometimes some concessions, depending on what they're for, if they're for, let's say, for hotels or apartment buildings where there are partners involved in that. If there are partners involved, those partners have already put their money forward. The question is then are investors then able to manipulate the system, cook the books in such a way that whatever concessions they have received from government, they're able to factor that in, as far as investments are concerned, and able to pocket, while not being able to pocket the direct money from government, are able to pocket the profits that they have made as a result of those concessions for their own personal use and personal gratification as well. We do have the caller. We're not going to go to the commercial break because we don't want to lose the caller again. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Jose.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well.
And Happy New Year to the old girl.
Oh, yes, she's right there, right here.
I didn't get hear her voice when I called because I called through the WhatsApp. But,
okay.
I just wanted to agree with that gentleman that always called there regarding the trade school, and especially the hurricane shelter for Grand Cayman. It's a sad situation to know that people in Grand Cayman, year after year, they sit down. Well, not year after year, because like what the former premier said, they would have had 5 or 6 meetings since this past government. But to know that they don't have a proper facility in Grand Cayman as a hurricane shelter, but yet they can sit down and always fight the battle across the board to one another regarding implementation of new schools. Not saying that we don't need the new schools, but you need to protect the people first, and then you go on the outside of that. And it's sad to know that they're gonna all just sit down there and fight again till they get that rectified. But for him to hold on to that battle, I hope more people in Grand Cayman support him and fight for Grand Cayman to get a hurricane shelter, because it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that gives you a security to know that you got something somewhere safe, a high point to go to during a time like that. Cayman don't want to go through another Ivan and suffer the consequences because the government is being neglectful.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that they put aside their agendas and try to focus on the people first. But that's not what I wanted to speak on, but I had to agree with what the gentleman said. I love to listen to what he talks. He makes good sense, and he gets right to the point. I just wanted to congratulate Miss Lucy Seymour for standing up for the people of Cayman that have used spear guns all their life and continuing to use spear guns. And I didn't know. I salute her. I didn't know that woman used to spear fish. I even heard it. But last year, I think it was November when they did the meeting there, she stood up because DOE, that they're more willing to take spear guns out of the book.
Mm-hmm.
And she stood up for that. She said that has to be passed. And I listened to her, and I mean, she holds strong to make sure that they had passed that, because she even asked them, did it pass? Did that bill pass? And they said, yes, ma'am, it passed. And I take my hat off to her to know that she stood up for the men in the Cayman Islands that spear fish, and for the women. Like I said, would never think that Lucille Seymour spearfish, but I am more than happy to thank her for what she done and to stand up for us to make sure that we get what was handed down to us and will be handed down to our children, and don't make the government bringing foreigners here to take away what is ours. We have lost too much. We can't lose no more. Okay, so cool. I just want to salute her for that.
Thank you very much, caller. We have two more callers, and I went beyond the commercial break, so we're going to take the commercial break now. We're going to then take the last two callers as well. Thank you very much, caller. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay Mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
In 2022, 15 people lost their lives on Cayman's roads, and 2,915 road traffic collisions resulted in 32 serious injuries.
So far in 2023, 9 more people fell victim to road fatalities.
Parents lost sons and daughters.
Children lost their mothers, fathers, and caregivers.
Young lives were ended before they even began, and stories were cut short before they could be told.
But what if?
We learned to share the road.
We stopped texting and driving.
We did not let our friends drive after a few drinks.
What if we just took the time to slow down and think?
What if, as a community, we rose to the challenge of keeping our roads safe? What if we came together to stop these accidents and fatalities?
What if we all walked the road to zero and decided no more in 2024?
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show. We have about 7 minutes left, 2 callers, so we want to try to share that time equally between the last 2 callers. Also, a big birthday shout out going to Mr. Michael Edwards at work. And may God, they are saying, may God grant him as more than he has ordained from his wife, his son, and the rest of the family. So Michael is celebrating his birthday today. Let's grab the last 2 callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C.
Good morning, sir. How are you? Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, and same to you, too.
Thank you.
My voice is not the best right at the moment, but anyway, I listened to the last 1 or 2 people on the radio. I didn't hear all the show, but I did hear a little bit of the last 2. And in all fairness, the government, which is not very seldom shouted out, I would say. But I know as a builder, when government introduced a trade school in the old public works compound, that's many years ago. So it's not correct to say that government has never tried to do a trade school. I know personally that people that enrolled in that school, and it was based on the construction industry, training up for the construction industry, that those those young men or women, I don't know if it was any women or not, would go and register, receive the little stipend that the government was giving them, and disappear. Never went to do any training. They would go and collect the funds that were allocated for them and disappear. Now, I know that was disheartening, I would say, to the least. They had an excellent person there as a teacher, Mr. John Elliott. Somebody know him from England, whatever, from the UK. And he did a good job there. He was doing a good job. But the people really did not value what they were offered by government, which they could have been trained properly in the construction business industry. And that I know, I can say, of a fact, that's what some of them did. I don't know if all did. I wouldn't say all did, but many of them did it. And that was wrong. So it's two sides to every coin. And also, there was other opportunities at the UCCI College. They had a good equipment room there where they could train people for various industries, mainly in construction, I would say. They did that with carpentry training equipment. And it just was neglected. People didn't have any interest in it. A lot of people here think they can demand a livelihood from other people without doing anything to get it. And remember the days of when the bank tellers, high school students could go straight to the banks and get tellers jobs. And 2-3 weeks they had an automobile loan, could buy a car, and that they thought that was life. But that was a big mistake that many of them made. So don't put all the blame on the politicians. I'm not saying that they're completely free of any criticism either. But it's always two sides to every story.
So true.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much too, Mr. Tommy. Have a great day as well. Let's grab the last caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. Happy New Year to you.
Good morning. Thank you. Same to you.
I'd like to reflect on the problems that we have. Everybody's talking about this and that. So let's go straight to the point. We are overdeveloped. And the reason why we're overdeveloped because we're not designed for massive development and we do not have an infrastructure for it. Is the reason. Now, there are some problems we have at hand that can be fixed very easily. I'll give you the solution. Traffic, one number one issue for the public. The traffic lights should be reset. I stood at a red light and count 70 cars passing a green light and bottleneck down the road. All you need is 20 seconds for each way. And by paying attention, you can get 15 to 20 cars moving from each direction in 20 seconds. Easily done. Next thing, school children for school. All school children should be bused to school. Special school children from 10 up. But I drive for a primary school. I drive from 5, age 5 to 11. There's no problem. It can be done. Number 3, the importation of vehicles, there should be a moratorium put on the importation of vehicles. We don't need no more vehicles right now. And then the main problem in the importation of vehicles we have is the expat who sharing a permit bringing in vehicles to sell. Who gave them permission to have a license to sell? This is ridiculous. It has to stop like yesterday. I mean, we're out of whack here. We're not managing our country. Then the car dealers who have a license for sales and repairs should be enforced to provide parts for those vehicles that they sell, either themselves or they cooperate with other people who are already involved in selling parts, that they make sure they have parts. Okay? Then we want to go to the we're going to veer off it a little bit because we're talking about overdevelopment.
We only have about a minute left, caller, so sorry about that. Go ahead.
You're talking about overpopulation, overdevelopment. There is a racketeering going on this island with permits. I'm not going to say it's the government's fault, but I'm saying the government are not screening is not screening. We have a lot of people on this island who come with a permit and have no work. And that is rampant.
And that is a problem. Sorry for interrupting you, caller, but that's a problem that we had from day one when it came to the issue of work permits from day one.
And why can't we fix it if we had it so long?
Yeah,
That's the
true.
point I'm making. So anyway, there are other points, but I can wait another time. And
Certainly.
I appreciate your time very much. And I'll be back on. And I'm not afraid to say who I am. I am Blake G. Hurlston.
Okay.
I'm a fifth-generation Caymanian, and I am not prejudiced to anyone or anything, but there must be management. Without management, you do not have a structure. When you have a rat race of stupidness.
Okay. Well, I welcome you certainly to join us. And if I don't have any guests on Wednesday, the secret behind all of this is call in early, especially after the 8 o'clock news. And then I'm able to usually give more time because we have some people have a tendency to call just about half an hour before the show is due to end. But the secret is call after the 8 o'clock news. Caller, thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, have a great day.
One of our listeners wanted to know the details of the Ormond Panton lecture, as well as they wanted to know the status of the recent elections for the Civil Service Association. And then they have a question about whether or not the government is supporting, correcting the support of elderly ex-wives of old Caymanian seamen who decide to remarry, but the ex-wives lose their stipend, health benefits, and even property. I can comment about the Ormond Panton lecture series, which was originally planned, I believe it was the 18th of January. It is now the 1st of February. February 1st, you can still register online for it as well. And we do plan on having Dr. Livingston Smith and others on For the Record to talk more about this. But it has been moved until the 1st of February. Folks, I want to thank all of you for joining us this morning, for engaging in in conversations with us, for offering suggestions, asking pertinent questions as well. I will continue to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want, or even those who crave as well. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, please ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because remember, safety is paramount, and the life you save may just be your own. I welcome you to continue to support Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman joins Sterling Dwayne Ebanks at 12:15 for Talk Today. Sterling returns today as well, and as usual, we're going to ask the good Lord to continue to bless us here in these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Coca-Cola. Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery. Inspiring luxury. And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network.